10 minutes before the hour, Michael Patrick Shields with Greg Johnson from the Grand Rapids Press, back from Chicago. And, wow, sure is an interesting season for the Spartans. And what a nail-biter of a game that was, eh, Greg?
Yeah, never a boring moment. It seems like there's always something going on, or a play with a new name. We got all kinds of things going on.
Are you referring to the mousetrap?
Yes, sir. The mousetrap and little giants and big giants, and they've come up with everything. We'll see this week what the next chapter is.
Well, they're going to have to go to that pink locker room at Iowa. The visitors' locker room I saw on television this weekend is still painted pink, and that's supposed to get the opponent all mellow when they go out on the field. But I saw Mark D'Antonio crack a smile on television when that reporter asked him about that fake punt, and he said something like, "Yeah, that's the mousetrap. We just got to get him to take the cheese."
Yeah, he's maybe mellowed a little bit, but I think 8-0 does that to you. So I think he's really enjoying this team. It's he said there's something special about this team, and he said it way back in February, and it's almost like Ben Crenshaw in the Ryder Cup. There's something special about these guys, and I think he really believes it, and I think he sold it to the team.
It wasn't a great game for Cousins, though, was it?
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. You got to realize he threw for over 350 yards. And 7 for 8 in the last drive for 98 yards, in the key drive. So it's how you finish as a quarterback and whether you win the game. So I wouldn't say that. I really wouldn't. I think he made a lot of really good decisions. He didn't throw any interceptions, and he's winning. Quarterbacks are, if you win the game, you've kind of done your job. I really believe that. And the stats aren't near as important, and his stats actually ended up being good. It's, he's kind of sneaky good. He's the guy that, when you're playing golf, writes down 72 at the end of the day, and you thought he shot 80.
Well, just ask Brett Favre yesterday. 3 picks at Lambeau Field, and a loss now to the Packers. And people are already saying maybe he should retire now and just get it over with.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that game too, and it did look that way. He's, it's almost like he pressed it 1 year too long, like Willie Mays or something. He should have gone out on top.
Yeah. Now, what do you make of the BCS rankings? The Auburn has the top spot now because another number 1 team lost on Saturday night, Oklahoma. So we have Auburn, and then we have Oregon, Boise State, TCU, and the Spartans are ranked 5th, very close to that sort of that Final Four there that gets to play for the title.
Yeah, as long as you just keep winning, obviously and it's going to change every week. 3 weeks in a row, number 1 has been beaten. So. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be number 1 right now, I'll tell you that. So it's just it's really volatile. You just won't know. And if you just keep winning, Michigan State's best bet is just to ignore it, which is what D'Antonio's choosing to do. And, you really just have to win your game that week, and then you see what happens in the end.
Yeah, all you can do is win, and there are people who say that even if the Spartans win all their games, some of those other teams with 1 loss might get the nod because their schedule is stronger. Is there any logic to that?
Well, there is some logic to that. They're and if they had, the win over Wisconsin is starting to really pay big dividends because they've beaten 2 top-ranked teams in a row. So. You never know. You really just don't know. I guess you can project that out somehow, but I think that's impossible, too, because you can't predict all the games. Who could have predicted number 1 would go down 3 weeks in a row? So
yeah, no way.
I think there's 5 weeks left and 5 things that can happen.
It was ironic, that last touchdown the Spartans scored, the announcers were talking about the fact that if he had laid down on the 5-yard line instead of scoring that touchdown, the game would have been over with a kneel down instead of having to kick to Northwestern with 1:03 left, up by 8. That was one of those strategy situations, and they all sort of said, you're not going to tell a college football player not to score a touchdown. You're going to be able to tell him to lay down on the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that's just not the way you do things. If you start to do things that way, then you have the kid out there trying to think when he just needs to play. And, if you get them out there and you play, you tell them what the options are and then have them go do it. Obviously you want them to be smart players, but that's, you're expecting them to do coach analysis. That's, there's just no way. And the announcers don't have anything else to do but drink pop and think of stuff like that.
What did you think? Did you see Jonathan Byrd, how he won that playoff at Las Vegas yesterday on the PGA Tour?
Yeah, about that? That's the way to do it. That's, boy, man, oh, man.
And
he looked pretty like he couldn't believe they were saying, "Hey, I think I went in." What are you talking about?
Even after the round was over, he said he was still in shock. Jonathan Bird went to a playoff with two other guys, and it was getting dark in Vegas. And they said, "Do you want to play one more or what?" And then they said, "Yeah, it's a par 3. We'll give it a go." And rather than wait till Monday, and he holed the shot with a 6-iron, hole in one, to win the tournament.
Yeah, it was like he was going, "Is this April 1st? What's going on?" Yeah. I mean, that was amazing. Yeah, that was. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, 2-year exemption he gets for that. And obviously the reason he's playing at this time of year is he's trying to get his card and be able to stay on the PGA Tour. And that's the first time that they can account for a hole-in-one winning a playoff on the PGA Tour. Well,
yeah, I got to believe that. That's amazing. Just think of the odds of that. That's just got to be incredible.
Have you ever had a hole-in-one?
No, I'm 0.
Me neither.
Why? Are you setting me up so you can tell me about yours?
No, I don't have one either. I hope we get them on the same day in the same round somewhere.
Now that would be great. Then we could split the bill.
It's a deal. Greg Johnson, Grand Rapids Press. Michael Patrick Shields back with more of your Monday morning right after the news.